Hello, everybody out there on the interwebs. Welcome to another episode of Actually Gaming with me, Steven, here from Freeze Peach Gaming. I am playing me some Legend of Zelda Wind Waker today, everybody out there on the interwebs. Oh God, I'm coming through again on my own stream. Of Actually Gaming with me, oh God, Steven, oh God, fix this. Gaming. I am playing me some Legend of Zelda. Oh God, there we go. So much better. Okay, so much better. Oh, do I only come through on 720? I can come through on 1080. Okay. Yes. Well, welcome everyone. Let me type hello to everyone. Welcome everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful day. All right, so I just got me a capture card, and I am super excited because this means I can now start playing me some Nintendo games. I can play me. I decided first thing I was gonna hook up is my Wii U. Is the audio coming through on the... Oh, I have the capture card audio muted. There we go. Now the audio should be coming through on the capture card. There we go. I had the wrong one muted. Alright, now you should be able to hear the game. Yes, I decided first thing I was going to hook up was my Wii U so I could play me some Zelda, one of my favorite Zelda games. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Abso-friggin-lutely love this game. And I think I have the audio just right. Let me turn that down just a hair, because I think it's more important that you hear my wonderful voice over the game. Might just be a little bit loud on my my headphones. There we go. That should be better. Alright, sorry, having to get used to this whole setup. But yes, I truly do hope that everyone out there is having a wonderful day. Though I do wanted to get this talked about right off the bat. There is something going on in our community here. Let me actually go full screen on this. Alright, so just wanted everyone out there to know that a good friend of the channel and a good friend to a lot of the people on this space, Drew, his channel is The Supreme Heretic. You can see me there every Tuesday. But Drew is going through a very difficult time right now. His mom is in the hospital. She is not doing very well. She has some sort of infection going on in her intestines. And so I just wanted everyone out there to, if you're the praying sort, go ahead and throw out a prayer for Drew's mom. If you're not, just keep Drew and his mom in your thoughts. He's been a wonderful help to me in helping me get started in this whole, streaming space and meeting people out there. And I thought I think it's important that we go out and we think about Drew and we try to keep him in our thoughts. And you know what? Go to his Twitter, and he's got some tweets he's put out there talking about what's going on. So I'm not sharing like private knowledge or anything. This is all public things he's already talked about. So go on to Drew's Twitter and just tell him you're thinking about him. Tell him you're thinking about his mom. That you've got them both in your prayers. Yeah, just wanted everyone to know what's going on there. I don't really know. I don't have any like extra knowledge, just what's been put out publicly. But yeah, Drew's a really nice guy. He's been really great to me and helping me out. He very quickly offered to put me, right onto his channel. Almost immediately after meeting him in Twitter, he went ahead and started putting me out on his channel, and I've been there every single week that he's been doing his United Resistance podcast from back when it was Rogue Resistance. I've been there, and he's always sent me a link for it. He's always trying to be really helpful to myself and a lot of other people in this space. I know if like Arwen Avalon, they were doing a show together for a while. Arwen's kind of doing her own thing now, and from what I understand, there's no hard feelings there. It's everyone's really happy that she's doing her own thing now, and she's just, from what I understand, too busy to do the Pegasus Actual podcast. Brahma Bull, he's been coming up in these spaces. I think he's going to do really well. But yeah, just go ahead, keep Drew out there in your thoughts and prayers. His mom, Mama Heretic. I don't know her real name. But yeah, just thought I'd go ahead and put that out there. Let's get back into some gaming. All right. Everything should be coming through nice and good still. Yep. All right. So I went ahead and got us through the intro itself. And I got a big sweet kitty down here who just wants give me headbutt rubs. And she just wants some pets. Ahoy, big brother. Did Grandma make that outfit for you? But wow, you look like you'd be way too hot in those clothes. I guess they're pretty neat, though. So anyway, Link, can you close your eyes and hold your hand for just a second? I'm going to give you my most treasured belonging, but just for one day. Man, she's already Indian giving a damn present. And you know what? Good on Link. He's like, yeah, check out how awesome this telescope is. I don't care if my sister's Indian giving this thing to me right off the bat. Let's go, Link. I fucks with that energy. So, well, do you like it? I'm letting you borrow this special gift just because you're my big brother. Aren't you lucky? I should give her a Kamala Harris laugh. Aren't you lucky? Oh, why don't you try it out right now? Try looking over at our house from here. Yeah. So one cool thing about the Wii U is you see like this floating on the screen here. I can use the touchpad to equip items. Ooh, it's the mailman. Doesn't like the other birds. Oh, it's that motherfucker. And who's that he's holding? I wonder. Yeah, dodge, dodge. 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 Yeah, I'm gonna miss this shit. Miss me with them rocks. Uh-oh. Taking out 2 birds with, well, 12 stones, but that's not important. Man, this game starts off, I just love how this game starts off. I kind of got through a lot of the intro stuff where, you wake up, it's your birthday, your sister's out, you know, you meet your sister, who is this girl right here. I don't know why I'm telling everyone about this game. It's been out for, like, almost 20 years. But it's too dangerous for you to go there without something you can use to defend yourself with. Nah, I got this. The climbing mechanic in this game is very slow. Oh shit, there's a rupee I missed. Okay, I think that's all that's down there. It's just 1 rupee. Yeah, well. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to get that shield. You know, Grandma's going to be awesome. She'll hook me up with a shield. Grandmas are awesome. I need to call my grandma. For everyone out there, call your grandma. Or your grandpa. I don't have any grandpas left. All of mine died young because they were... they either partied too hard or they were fat. So they all died pretty young, but I enjoyed my time I had with them. So, but I still have I have 1 grandma left. Need to call her more often. Actually, she's going to be moving a lot closer to me, which will be awesome. She'll only be a good about 6-7 hour drive away, which isn't too bad. Link, what's the matter? What happened? Where's Errol? I know she's a good girl who behaves herself, but she's just a child. You mustn't let your eyes off of her. Whatever, Grandma, I'm coming for that shield. Oh, I can't get the shield. That's right, it's just decorative, isn't it? I'm trying to remember, it's been a while since I played this game, when I, like, first bought my Wii U, which is, years ago at this point in time. Also, you see this roll, get used to it. I don't know how to do the stutter step, so I'm going to be doing a lot of rolling. Oh, wait. Hang on, that's right. I need to go. Do I need to go talk to him? Oh, there's the sword master over here. But yeah, call your grandmas. Give them a call. They're wonderful women. By all technicality, you wouldn't be here if it weren't for them liking sex. So, just remember that. Grandma sex isn't weird, by the way. You wouldn't survive if it weren't for that. A serious introduction to the way of the sword. Oh, I think this is where I can get a heart piece if I, Yeah. I already did all this stuff. Sorry, everybody, making you go through this. Alright. So that's basically the combo I'm going to wind up using the whole game, because it's pretty much the best, other than the spin attack. Alright. Yeah, take that. Stick it right in his back. I'm not afraid to stab an old man in the back. Yeah. Yeah, I got a sword. The hero's sword. Yeah. So, one of the only Zelda games I still haven't played did recently come out with the HD edition, Skyward Sword. I totally missed out on that one. I didn't have a Wii at the time when it came out. Only reason I played Twilight Princess is because they came out with the HD edition. Nope, I don't want to talk to you. Fuck off. Alright, let's go. Gonna save somebody. A blonde pirate, by the looks of it. It's totally not someone whose name is in the game. I did not just almost fall off there. That wasn't the thing. Oh yeah, and there's some other coins I could have gone and gotten, but that can wait. I think it's better to do this anyway, because I believe I'm getting the, I'll be getting the, the boomerang here. Well, nothing up here. Nothing cool. Alright. So I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of cell shading, but I feel like with the Zelda games, it actually works pretty well. Yeah. Link, Lawnmower Simulator 2000. So I can't remember if this actually counts as the first dungeon, which is the one thing that, I mean, I know a lot of people have made this complaint before, but I love Breath of the Wild, but the one thing it is sorely missing is dungeons. That would make a huge difference in that game. Oh, I got this, fool. Yeah, give me that shiz you drop. No, no. I want to go inside the log. For those fat 5 rupees. Alright, hop on up. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need a bomb. Some bombs before I can do that. Fairy Fountain Site. This spot marks the remains of an ancient fairy fountain. The legendary hero was said to come here after battles, so the fairies would ease his weariness. It was also said that whoever met with the great fairy would live here was blessed with great fortune, so it came to be known as the Fountain of the Fortune Goddess. Yeah, well, I guess I'll come back when I get some bombs. Uh-oh. Friggin' moblins. What they dropping? I guess nothing. Wow, what's with that getup? Well, whatever. So where am I? Oh, that's right. That giant bird came and... Miss Tetra. Oh, so, well, we got some chat going on here. I, had a couple of articles I wanted to bring up and talk about. Ash, you be careful with my headphone wire. Got a fat kitty cat messing with my headphone wire. And this, unfortunately, I did buy a cheap capture card, so the headphone connector isn't the best. If it gets turned or messed with, I lose the audio in my headphones. Then I have to go fiddle with it until it works again. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Babylon Bee. They got suspended from Twitter for, I guess, not dead naming, but dead gendering. What's her name? Rachel Levine. Yeah, Rachel Levine. The, Woman of the Year, Time Magazine's Woman of the Year, or whoever named her that. So they basically said, you know, Rachel Levine is Babylon Bee's Man of the Year. Which, I mean, straight up based. Based from them doing that. Let's see if I can't turn my TV a little more. Yeah. You don't see as much of the background that way. I'll just deal with it. It's a little bit of an odd angle for me. But yeah, they got suspended from Twitter, which is hilarious in my opinion, because it's exactly like to a T. Now, bit of a disclaimer, I am not a big fan of Tim Pool. I used to be a big fan of Tim Pool, but I feel like his ego's gotten in his way a lot lately. So I don't watch his show anymore. For a while there, like a lot of other people say, I was watching depending on who his guest was. Oh no, big bird coming. Oh no, my sister. Look, no lie, a big-ass bird comes and takes my sister, I'm shooting the shit out of that bird. Take my sister. But that is the... No, sister! Errol getting taken by a big-ass bird. What? You want to come with us on our ship? Yes, gonna go, don't even have to get shanghaied. I'm volunteering to join some pirates. That's right. That's right, Mailman's got my back. And you know, that mailman flies, so you know he's getting around. Got a lot of half-bird babies out there, if you know what I mean. But yes, that was the exact scenario that Tim Pool was talking about when he met with, what's his name, Jack Dorsey and that other Twitter lawyer on Joe Rogan's show. He had said, I mean, exactly, he had talked about misgendering and how misgendering means different things to different people. So you talk to a liberal, or a progressive more specifically, and you ask them what misgendering is, they're going to say that misgendering is referring to someone by a gender that they do not identify with. Whereas if you ask a conservative or someone who's more traditional, or even someone who's just not very politically motivated, so basically anyone who's not a progressive, you ask them what misgendering is, and they're going to say it's referring to someone who is not of their birth, by a gender that is not their birth gender. So just having a very bland and very basic misgendering rule on your website or guideline, they like to use the word guidelines. Just having that very basic and bland rule leads you to a point to where you're going to be able to censor certain people and other people will not be censored. Purely just on the fact that different people have different ideas of what terms like misgendering means. Oh, the big kitty is so needy right now. I gotta give her head scratches. Oh yeah, we're going to the Forsaken Fortress. The actual first dungeon of the game. So yes, Babylon Bee getting kicked off of Twitter for naming Rachel Levine their Man of the Year, which, I mean, it's just a great joke, right? It's just a solid humor right there. That is hilarious. And then Babylon Bee, I'm probably going to I think I'll do a short video on this article tomorrow, but I think it's just absolutely great. I think it's hilarious. I think it's going to give Babylon Bee a lot more attention. I think they're expecting... oh, we're going to censor Babylon Bee and all of these people on Twitter aren't going to be able to see him. But now everyone's sharing out that picture. I mean, I shared out the picture of the, the image of Rachel Levine as Babylon Bee's Man of the Year. So everyone's out there sharing it out. Like the one I did, it had something like, it had like over 10,000 retweets on it. So they're getting hit straight up with the Streisand effect. I love it. You should love it too. It's hilarious. And we can just sit back and eat popcorn and watch the left slow. They're getting to the point that they're just going nuts here. People, big tech oligarchs are going nuts over anything now that they can censor people on. They're going to do it. And the more they start censoring people, the more they're going to push people towards alternative tech. The more they're going to push people just... how many people are just going to straight up go to Babylon Bee's website and just view the article themselves now. Oh, I'm not ready yet, Zelda. Sorry, that's not Zelda. That's Tetra. Pirate Queen Tetra. Yeah, give me some early coins, because you do actually need some rupees in this game. Some ripeys. My big kitty, she is being so needy. Yeah, all of that for 2 damn rupees. Yeah, I was greedy. Oh, I should also go say hi to Beetle. The world's most annoying salesman, but you know what? He's got good shit. He's like that dealer you don't want to see, but he carries the best shit in town. Hey, Beetle. Hey, man, I got the good shiz. Oh! Yes, Beetle, I would like to purchase the good shiz from you. Yeah, give me that bait bag.
Thank you!
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, Beetle. I don't care about your silver membership. Just sell me my berries. I want my all-purpose bait. So I can get jebaited.
Thank you!
One thing that is kind of annoying because, you know, this is an older game is the fact that you can only buy one thing at once, even though there's only one of the bait bag that you can buy. But you can just keep buying things like the bait and the Hawaii pears. But you have to go through and buy them individually. And you know what? I'm just going to keep the one of each because other than using the bait to occasionally pull up a fish, it's not something you really do that often. Alright, let's do this! Oh. Yeah, I need that. Need to get a shield. Also, I'm trying to remember. I thought there was something hidden around here. You know what? I think I remember now. No. Climb up here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, getting some free stuff. I'm stealing. Stealing. Yeah, give me them rupees. And I can't use my sword in here. I literally have to pick up and throw everything. How annoying. Oh, and I can't even roll into it. Come on, give me this stuff. Give me the stuff, man. Ah, crap. Oh well. I don't think there was actually anything good in there. I think it's just rupees. All right. Let's go get the shield from Grandma. Gotta get that hookup from Grandma. No, not trying to get in there. Nothing cool up there. No, I ain't trying to talk to you. Go away, bitch. Yeah, Grandma, don't worry. Errol's just outside playing with the gulls. Kid me, you think Grandma doesn't know what's up. Link. Is this what you're looking for? Take it with you. Yeah. I guess it is true. Errol really has been kidnapped, hasn't she? What kind of monster could take such a sweet young child? Well, obviously Ganondorf. Duh, Grandma. Oh, what's up, brightest day? How's it going? Yeah, just got myself a capture card, so I'm playing me some Legend of Zelda. Oh, damn it, I ain't trying to talk to you, woman. Keep targeting her. So, man, thought you'd find it interesting. This weekend went and saw Chrissy Mayer live, and got to meet her after the show, and of course, you know, she was really funny, you know, good times at the show itself, but also Drunk 3PO was there, so I got to meet Chrissy Mayer and Drunk 3PO this weekend. So I had myself a pretty sweet time. And of course, they were both super nice, you know, both very nice and inviting. But something funny that happened. So Drunk 3PO, we're sitting outside, and you know, Drunk 3PO sort of sitting on a bench nearby, and the rest of us are standing up, and there's these couple of girls walking around, and they're sort of looking over at 3PO, and he's thinking he's getting recognized, you know. I'm thinking he's getting, you know, everyone's thinking he's getting recognized here. And so he looks up and he sees the girls, and he's trying to be nice and inviting, and he's like, "Oh, hey, did you want to meet? You want like a picture or something?" And immediately the girl's just like, "Do you have a cigarette?" And I thought it was great. Like, you know, Drug 3PO's thinking he's getting noticed. It's like, "Oh, by the way, you're not that famous, dude. Hate to break it to you. She just wants a smoke from you." But yeah, overall, it was an excellent time. Wife and I had a good time meeting them. Both really nice, a lot of jokes, lots of laughs. And we got to go out and walk around Savannah the next day. Get us way too much candy. Way too much candy. And then yesterday, you know, after I'd gotten home, got a small, but still nonetheless got a shout out on the Geeks and Gamers, their Mario Kart stream they were doing yesterday from 3PO. So overall, had a pretty sweet weekend. And now I get to start playing Nintendo games on stream, which, you know, that's just a win-win for me. So it's been like a pretty sweet 3 days in a row. And then later on, I'll be over on Shellback's channel for the warm-up show for yelling at parked cars. So just having a grand time here. Oh, I do have another story I was gonna bring up here. So, yeah, Australia is working. Australia, of course, more wacky laws coming from that place. Surprise, surprise. But they're talking about having laws on censoring internet misinformation. They're actually going to let me pull up. They actually talking about it a bit here. It's Reclaim the Net has an article on it. And I'll go ahead and put it up in the chat. Yeah, if you wanted to read it for yourself. But yeah, they're going to be adding the internet to the Australian Communications and Media Authority, ACMA. So they're going to have full-on government censorship over in Australia now. Which actually, it makes me think about something that it's a bit contentious for me in the space that, most of us are in and the people we talk to. It's just sort of a differing opinion I have from a lot of people. I know a lot of people were wanting, like Trump, to start making laws regarding the internet and to actually force people, the big tech companies into not being able to censor people and essentially enforcing government free speech laws on these individual companies. But I actually think it is more important, in my opinion, I think it's more important for these companies to maintain what they do and do not want to allow on their own personal platforms, because they are privately owned. Whether or not they're actually receiving government funds doesn't mean that they aren't privately owned. Just because they're publicly traded doesn't mean that they aren't privately owned by a large amount of people. And freedom of speech is very particular to the government being able to control what speech we are and are not allowed to share. Or what we are and are not allowed to say. Is this the guy I'm supposed to talk to? No, that's not him. Yeah, I gotta go to the crow's nest. So that's, So I think it's actually very important to have laws that do control speech basically separate from the government, because once you allow the government to say that certain things are and are permissible, or certain things must be permissible, essentially when the next administration comes around, you're going to have the opposite effect, where you now have people in the government or at the head of the government, or just even a Congress that has a differing opinion of you. And once you open the door to allowing them to force companies to allow certain speech on their platforms, you could have the opposite effect happen. So I think it's, both ways are bad. You can't have the government controlling what speech is or is not permissible on the internet. At the same time, you can't have the government controlling what speech must be permissible on not just the internet, but really any sort of forum. If it's privately owned, it needs to be privately owned, and the owners of that property, whether or not it's real estate or whether or not it's, something like the internet or even just a post board or anything like that, it's important for that to remain with the private owners and not the government. So that's what this whole Australia, they don't have freedom of speech over there. They don't have Second Amendment or Second Amendment, First Amendment. So they're now having to deal with the government being able to come in and determine what is or is not permissible speech. So I might bring that up on Shellbacks. I know he's wanting to talk about very similar situation is in Ukraine. Zelensky is going to start determining. Basically, he's going to start charging people for spreading misinformation on the internet in Ukraine. Oh, look at this motherfucker gatekeeping me. I want to go into Tetra's cabin, who is totally not Zelda. I want to go in her cabin and steal all her stuff. She's a pirate. Why can't I steal from pirates? Alright, hop on the switch. Yeah, then it's time for some platforming. Yes, swinging on a rope with fire underneath you. That can only go well. Actually, when I was a kid, that probably would have been tons of fun. I'd have loved doing something stupid like that. I was talking with my friends recently, last week when we were playing game, on Wednesday, I believe. We were talking about how much fun it was just to do dumb things when we were kids, like, we were talking about building rafts. You know, they never worked, but it was always so much fun to go out and gather up a bunch of sticks and tie them together with some twine or whatever rope-like substance we could get a hold of. We would just tie a bunch of sticks together in what we thought would be a serviceable raft, push it out into some water, and as soon as we hopped on, it's sinking. We're going down. We're getting wet. You know, Jimmy drowned a little bit, but it's all right. We kind of do CPR. Oh, man, I suck. Couldn't even get the first one. Yeah, I got it. I got it. But yeah, stuff like that would have been so much fun. You know, that was the best stuff when I was a kid. And I bet when I was a kid, swinging on a rope with fire on it, that would be awesome. Alright, let's get this targeting. There we go. Alright, come on. Let's get this facing right. Alright. Oh, you're kidding me. Alright, gotta be faster. I should have reset it. That's what I should have done off the rip. Oh, come on. Nope. Alright, game. Let's do this. Alright. Oh, you're freaking kidding me. Oh, God. Some of this platforming's a little bit janky. Or I just suck. It could be a bit of both. Alright, Link, we got this. Man, I thought I was going to get this first try. I'm usually pretty good at video game platforming. Come on. Hey, finally got it. See, I had something else I was going to pull up. Let's see. Yeah, the Australian government is specifically going after social media companies. You know, of course, they don't care about news companies putting out misinformation, because at least the vast majority of news companies are putting out misinformation on behalf of governments if they were to be doing something of that like. or they don't always put out what would be claimed, called, not even, well, I don't know why we've started using the term misinformation. Lying. They lie. So most media companies will lie on behalf of a government. Oh, you better not push me off, dude. Ooh, first big chest. I wonder if somebody who was working on the Zelda game was familiar with D&D, because that actually has a somewhat similar look to a bag of holding. In even old D&D, they would have like a face with a mouth on it usually. Yeah, breaking stuff. Anything good in here? Come on, give me some good shiz. Nope. But yeah, so, they now have to go after the social media companies because they don't have enough control over them, and they're probably not worried about Twitter or anything like that. They're probably more worried about, honestly, YouTube, because as much as we complain about YouTube, and typically rightfully so, we complain about YouTube, they're not the worst. I hate to say it like I'm basically defending YouTube for not being completely shit when it comes to censorship and the like. They do it, and it's usually for stupid reasons. Their health or coof misinformation rules, absolutely ridiculous. But they're not one of the worst, so they're probably going to be doing this so that, and they're actually saying they'll be putting the fines on the companies and not the individuals. So, in America, with Section 230, which I know a lot of people complain about, but I've actually gone through and read Section 230, and it's pretty clear stating that it allows both platforms and publishers. That's the one part that a lot of people kind of miss out on. They try to say, like, oh, they're acting as a publisher and not a platform. Well, Section 230 allows both platforms and publishers to not be charged with any opinions that are put out on their website by people who are not employees of that company, essentially, is what they say. If the person is not a representative of the entity, so us as users on YouTube or even content creators, we would not be considered representative. So if we were to say something libelous or false, YouTube can't get sued. Australia is basically trying to make it to where if libelous or even just now misinformation, they're using the very communist term of misinformation and disinformation. Now, the government's going to be able to go after the company, not an individual going after the company for spreading libel about them, like what is going on, what I believe is going on with Steven Crowder's, with his lawsuit that he has going on. But that the government is going to be going after the companies. So, one thing I will say, one place I do agree with people like Steven Crowder on the whole Section 230 thing is I think it would be... it's one of those things, though. It's still a very tightrope to walk of, I think that the social media companies should be completely transparent with their rules. But at the same time, by having government enforcement of transparency of rules, it would now... It's one of those things of now... companies are going to have to be very specific about their rules, and they're not going to be able to have any exceptions, which means, like, us putting out content on YouTube is now going to have to be reviewed by someone manually before it could ever go out onto the internet. There will be some sort of algorithm that it'll go through just immediately so that it can be, anything that is clear, detectable by an algorithm, therefore clearly not allowed on their platform, would just automatically get taken off, which we deal with that anyway for the most part, especially with like copyright claims and the like. But if that were the case, then every single video that goes out would have to be manually reviewed, and it comes to the point where I know, like in America, we have laws that disallow the government from forcing companies to create technology, right? You can't create a regulation for a company that would require some sort of technology that doesn't exist. And typically, by the same note, you can't require the company to then have to hire people specifically to be able to maintain the government regulation. So, while our current system isn't perfect, I don't think we're going to ever have a perfect system. And the laws that we have set up in America regarding freedom of speech and regarding the allowing of private companies to withhold certain information, I think is much better than the alternative of what we're seeing now in Australia and Ukraine, to where the government can very quickly come in, and as soon as it becomes convenient or, according to the government, they feel that it is necessary for them to do this, they're going to put their rules and basically put their boot down on these private companies. So in America, we're allowed to have things like Odyssey or Rumble or Parler, all of these other companies that for the most part allow free speech. They have their own rules. Like, if we wanted to allow everything to be out there on the internet, that would essentially mean that pornography would also have to be allowable on the internet, unless it is illegal content, which would basically only preclude CP, which, I think people who make CP should just get put up against a wall and shot. There's no other recourse that should be done for someone who actively creates CP. So I'm not defending that. I'm just saying that if we were to force companies to allow all content that is considered legal on their platform. Oh, wait. Gotta watch this part. Why are you struggling, Link? What, did you think it was just going to be a fun time in a barrel? Alright, let's do this. Time for my Evil Knievel impression. Steel yourself, Link. Yeah, he'll be fine. Oh no, my sword. God, Link lost that sword faster than Aang loses his staff on Avatar. Just got the damn thing. Fought 3 moblins so far. Not even a single bokoblin yet. Already lost the damn thing. I hadn't noticed that before, that hey, I think that's a bit of a nod back to Navi with Ocarina of Time. And Majora's Mask, of course, because, was Navi in Majora's Mask? I can't remember. That's one of the other Zelda games I haven't played yet, is that I actually own it for the 3DS, I just never got around to playing it. Alright, time to be sneaky. Yeah, solid Snake style. Sneaking. Ooh, yeah. Give me them red rupees. Can't jump. Okay, I gotta get to those stairs. Come on, Link, jump. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the whole Section 230 arguments that we normally hear. Yep. Shit! Well, that's one way to go about things. I believe the speed runs, they actually intentionally get caught and thrown in here anyway. Because I believe it's actually faster overall. And she gets some blue rupees. Actually, no, that's right. In the speedruns, they complete... that's right, they come to the Forsaken Fortress pretty much just the second time around. It's, Come on, pick that up. But I do believe that they go ahead and get caught. Because it's basically just skipping a lot of the intro. Oh yeah, dungeon map. Which is another thing you guys can't see because the dungeon map is on the Wiimote here. The, oh, what do they call it? The panel thingy. Yeah, yep, I know where I need to go. I think I know where I need to go, at least. Let's see, I think I had one more article pulled up. Talk about, oh yes, the, saying how lawmakers are calling for the investigation of Hunter Biden's laptop story censorship. I'll go ahead and throw that up here as well. It's another Reclaim the Net article. But yeah, you know, of course, as everybody's been talking about recently, Hunter Biden's laptop is now confirmed. Yeah, that was actually real. Everything that was said there. Everything that we saw in the laptop, it's... Oh, you kidding me. Oh, uh-oh. All right. Gotta get past you two bastards. But yeah, basically, Hunter Biden laptop story, completely real. New York Post, man, he had his head inside that barrel. Uh-oh. Almost got busted there. Yeah, so let's see what they're saying in this article since I got a minute. Oh, there we go. And I am going the dead wrong direction now. Isn't that just great? Yeah, there's no crawling in there. Alright, back in the hole. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to sign off here soon, because, Shellback's show is starting in not too long, and I got a couple of things I need to get ready first. So this wouldn't be a bad time for me to go ahead and save and sign off. Yeah. Oh, all right. So I always like to try and end these. Always like to end these episodes of Free Speech Actually Gaming with me just talking, essentially. So let's see. Let's go with there's a better setting. So, we've talked about a lot of things here tonight. Talked about the idea of freedom of speech and how, government interference sort of opens the door for the other side. And I think that's something we need to consider on our side. That I know it's one of those things, it's something that is not considered on the other side, but at the same time, I think it's a very important principle for us to keep for those of us who are on the more freedom-oriented side of debates and arguments, that we need to make sure that whatever sort of policies we're advocating for are not set up to automatically be used in the opposite of what we want from the other side. We should go ahead and assume that whatever sort of policies we're advocating for are going to be turned in the opposite direction from the other side. So we heard Trump for years talking about how he wanted to institute, essentially force freedom of speech and force the First Amendment rules that the government has to abide by onto the social media companies. And now we see, with the Biden administration, them doing the opposite. They're now essentially forcing their ideas of, misinformation and disinformation to be, because they can't do it themselves, they're now going through the social media companies, and it makes me think, would these companies have that idea? Would these companies even be attempting things like this if it weren't for the fact that Trump had already set up the idea that he wanted these social medias to essentially do the same thing, but at the opposite angle of capitulating to government orders and enforcing freedom of speech. So to be clear on this, I think it's entirely wrong how the Biden administration has been, as Jen Psaki put out there, old recessive genes herself, put out there, that they were tagging posts on Facebook specifically. She had talked about they were tagging posts on Facebook that were considered COVID misinformation and essentially having them removed. And in my opinion, from how I see that is the government overstepping their First Amendment bindings that very clearly state the government is not allowed to control what speech is or is not permissible, unless it is, we allow a very few certain things to withhold, or to allow the government to withhold. Very few things that are actually considered to be crimes. So, like I had mentioned before, cheese pizza, or, direct threats of violence, or something that is intended to cause a lot of harm, like, for instance, yelling fire in a crowded theater when there is no fire. If there is actually a fire in a crowded theater, you should probably let people know. In fact, it is your civic duty at that point in time to let people know. But if there isn't, and then you're essentially creating chaos for the sake of somebody probably getting hurt. And if somebody does get hurt, you should get charged with that for creating a false scenario. Nonetheless, despite the fact that it isn't advantageous for us to forego the tactics being used on the alternate side, what we like to call the left-hand side, but really it's just the authoritarian side. I could see Dan Crenshaw and, the other stooges, old Yertle the Turtle himself, Mitch McConnell, using these sort of tactics if it became advantageous for them now that the door has been opened up for the government tagging things for social media companies to take off, even though I don't think these social media companies would give a flying fuck about what Mitch McConnell has to say or Dan Crenshaw, because they don't have a D behind their name. But what if we have that going on at Facebook and Twitter and what have you? Instagram, from what I understand, is pretty even about what they allow. I don't use Instagram, so I wouldn't really know. I mean, I have one, I just don't use it very often, so I wouldn't know what they do or do not allow. But what if on the other side we had Mitch McConnell going to Rumble and saying we want to have these liberal voices completely withheld from regular conversation because we believe they're creating danger to society, so on and so forth. Now we have two parallel economies to where we have the, what we consider to be authoritarian side over on, Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, what have you. And then on the other end, we have basically the right going with the flip side of the coin, but still being authoritarian in that they're not wanting the opposition to speak out. So we need to make sure that we don't advocate for policies or we don't advocate for anything that could be bastardized and flipped on its head, in that the exact opposite of what we are intending could be done with it. I think that's why we have to be careful with it. That's why I don't have any issues with the supposed "don't say gay" bill going on in Florida, because it is very clear and very it is broad enough to where it's not specific. It's the obfuscation of it is to call it the "don't say gay" bill. But in reality, it's a "don't teach sex to 5-year-olds" bill. That's what it is. The 5 to 9-year-olds don't need to learn about sex. They don't need to learn about straight sex. They don't need to learn about gay sex. They don't need to learn about any of it. So, Just Some Guy put out a really fucking boneheaded tweet. And I normally like Just Some Guy. Before I was saying I don't like Tim Pool. Now this is the opposite side. I normally like Just Some Guy. I don't always agree with him politically, but I normally can at least come to an agreement of sorts with his takes. But with this one, I mean, he's straight up is saying the "don't say" the anti-teaching kids sex bill in Florida is because Republicans call gays groomers. That is his only argument against the whole thing is, all of you Republicans have been calling gays groomers. It's like, no, hang on. There's plenty of straight groomers out there. In fact, pedophilia has nothing to do with the gender of the person. That's what makes pedophilia so different and so horrible. Shoe on Head has made this comparison before to where you could have straight, which is one gender with the opposite gender, a male to a female, female to a male. You could have gay, which is male to male. You could have lesbian, which is female to female. You could have some other weird combo that has to do with gender because we have 5,000 of them now. Doesn't matter. The difference with pedophilia that makes it so disgusting and so different is it is adult child. And there are actually a lot of pedos out there who don't really care about the gender so much as they just want somebody who is significantly younger than them. It's a horrible thing that people do, and trying to remember where I was going with this. Oh, the don't say gay bill. So a lot of people are trying to obfuscate it as being, we claim that all gays are groomers and that's why you can't say gay in it now. The bill has nothing to do with whether or not someone is straight or gay. You can't teach sex to kids. So this bill is intentionally designed to preclude straight pedophiles from being able to groom kids of the opposite gender. It works both ways. It has a very specific intended purpose with broad enough language, not vague, but broad. So it says you cannot teach any form of sex to kids. Kind of like when Trump was attempting to ingratiate himself to Black and Mexican communities in particular by trying to make it easier for those communities to get small business loans. He didn't specifically write any sort of legislation or advocate for any sort of legislation that targeted Black or Latino neighborhoods. He targeted low income and or high crime areas. So if you lived in a low income and high crime area, you could very easily get a small business loan to set up your own business, because he knew that the free trade and free enterprise going through these areas would preclude criminality. If you have more people who are working, and you will have more people working if you have more small businesses, because 10 small businesses are going to employ more people than one frickin' Walmart. If you do this, you're going to have a lower opportunity for crime, a lower rate, lower chance of crime. So he didn't specifically say black and Mexican communities are going to get, we want just the black and Mexican communities to get these small business loans. They need the loans. No, he said, anyone who's in a poor area, we're going to try and make your area better by having more business and enterprise come in. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. You're going to love it. It was broad, not vague, broad. And so I think that that is the tactic we need to go for policies that we are advocating for. We need to make sure that it can't be twisted to the opposite side. We don't need to go with targeted. Specific, not targeted. Broad, not vague. And I think that's the thought I'm going to leave everybody on here. I think that this has been a pretty solid stream for me. I think this has been a good one. I want to thank Brightest Day for hopping in and saying hi, giving me some support there. So yeah, I've got a couple of articles linked in the chat here if you want to check them out. They're from Reclaim the Net, and I also had the Babylon Bee, the New York Post talking about the Babylon Bee getting yeeted from the Twitters. So we'll go ahead and throw that up. And look, here's my to make it perfectly clear, Twitter removing Babylon Bee for their hateful speech policy for misgendering, even though I had mentioned that Tim Pool had pointed out that misgendering means a different thing from a progressive to basically everyone else. I support Twitter's ability to do that. No one is forcing me to use Twitter. There are alternatives for a Twitter. Now, these companies, I think, also need to, after the mishap that happened with Parler, these companies need to really think and be very careful about their server side of their business. It's really easy, and I know because I've looked into it. Amazon Web Services offers an excellent service that could make it significantly easier, and in a lot of cases, even cheaper to host a site. So it's a very difficult prospect there, because they have the best tool in the market right now, is going to Amazon Web Services. But if you're going to be edgy, if you're going to be putting out stuff that Amazon might not like, you need to be careful. You might want to think about having your own servers. You might want to have proprietary servers to host your website. But nonetheless, I think this has been a solid web stream, or solid actually gaming stream of mine. So, I just want to tell all of you lovely and wonderful people out there to have an excellent day. Be excellent to each other, party on, dudes, and never be afraid